it is Christmas break, and I thought I would share the story of what happened to me last Christmas break because I think it's kind of an interesting story because I'm a narcissist, so of course I think my own stories are interesting. Anyway, um, so to set the stage, it is 2024. It is the day before Christmas break in junior year, and I had no friends. I had like one acquaintance I'm going to talk about in a second, but I have no one. I talked to basically no one but that one person. Like I had no one in my life. And it's the day before Christmas break, and I'm sitting in fifth period with Atlas, and Atlas is the only person that I have in my life that I could consider a friend, even though they're more of an acquaintance, because once the bell rang, our friendship kind of, like, we only talked in that one classroom. And anyway, we're talking in that classroom, just like, normal stuff. And then a guy I loosely knew named Trenton No walks in. And he was wearing this, like, tank top that you could see his nipples in, it was like nipple t-shirts. He was wearing one of those. So I just said like, "Oh, Trent, no, get out of here with that. You're molesting my eyes. I don't want to see your nipples, bro." And then Atlas, who's been molested before, said, "Hey, maybe that's not funny. I've been molested before. Don't joke about that." And he didn't say it in a mean way. It was more like just like, it's a triggering topic for him. So of course, when someone mentions something like that or like makes a joke about it, like it's very like I understand why he got upset. And it really tore me apart whenever like I hurt one of my friends, even though like I didn't know Atlas very well. I had hurt someone who was the closest person in my life to me at that point in time. I hurt them. I made an insensitive joke and I upset them, and that really fucked me up. I didn't show it. I was like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to like trigger you." So like I continued on throughout the day like everything was normal, but I was like really, really hurt by the fact that I had hurt Atlas like that. And then, so now, to fast forward a bit in time, it's about a week into Christmas break, and I am still very affected by it. I hadn't gotten out of bed, I hadn't showered in a week, and I know how stupid it sounds to have something so inconsequential, like making an insensitive joke. I know how stupid it sounds for that to, like, basically ruin your entire Christmas break, but, like, this is how much Atlas meant to me at the time. It's like, you show me that kindness and then I disrespect you like that. That really hurt. And I didn't have Atlas's number, so I couldn't like call him and apologize and be like, "I'm sorry I did that," and like really explain like how bad I felt over it. Even though Atlas didn't even care, like we went back to talking like everything was normal. It didn't affect him at all. It still, I couldn't get the thought out of my head like, "You did that. You hurt Atlas. You made that insensitive joke. You did that." I just had the voice in my head was just like, my conscience was just like, "Fuck you, you little piece of shit. How dare you do that?" So I'm just sitting there in my bed, rotting away miserable because of the fact that I had made that insensitive joke, and the voice in my head just would not leave. And not like I'm hearing voices, but just like the conscience in your head. It wasn't like I'm not insane, not like a schizophrenic or anything, but just like your conscience basically. Anyway, and then to kind of distract myself, I start cleaning up my room. And I had this tree in my room, in the corner of my room. And I had this, it was like a tinsel Christmas tree, and it was like covered in glitter, and glitter got all over the place. And I decided I was going to clean all that stuff up, just try to get my mind off what had happened a week ago. So I got a broom, cleaned it all up, and I put the tree in its box, and I brought it downstairs because I didn't want the tree. I wasn't going to keep the tree because like my mom bought it for me, trying to be nice because I complimented her tree, but I didn't want a Christmas tree in my room because it was dirty. So I didn't like it because it was white, and I like traditional Christmas trees. So anyway, I didn't like the tree, so I put it downstairs, and I was like, "You can have it, Mom. I don't really want it." Anyway, so I'm cleaned it up, put it downstairs, go back to rotting in my bed, just, usual things. My mom brings the tree back upstairs and tries to put it in my closet. And then I'm like, "Mom, I don't want this tree because, to be honest with you, like I'm glad I appreciate that you bought it for me, but I don't really want it because I don't like the tree and it's getting glitter all over my floor, so I'm never going to use it again. So if you don't want it, you can just throw it away." And she's like, "I'll put it in your closet." I'm like, "Mom, I don't want it in my closet. My closet's full." "Throw it away, or like keep it. Do you want me to throw it away for you? I just don't want the tree. And she's like, I'll put it in your closet. Can't get the idea across her head that I don't want this tree. Still continues to try to put it in my closet. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want this tree. Having to like kind of get angry, like, Mom, I don't want this tree. Here, hand it to me and I'll go throw it away. If you don't want to go downstairs, I'll gladly go throw it away. I just don't want this tree. Then my dad walks upstairs and is like, quit being fucking disrespectful to your mother. And I guess he had a bad day or something, because he never swears, he never curses, he never yells. He comes upstairs and like, quit being fucking disrespectful to your mother. I'm tired of your fucking disrespect like that. She bought you that tree. Now quit being fucking disrespectful. Just lays into me for like 5 whole minutes. I'm sitting there on my desk, just like laying there like this, just listening to him talk. I'm trying to argue my side. He's like, you shut the fuck up. I'm talking right now. Just laying into me. Does not stop. I don't know what upset him so bad, because I wasn't even being disrespectful. I was just being like, Mom, I don't want this tree. Saying it in that exact tone. Because like, I'm very monotone. I'm not like, I don't want this fucking tree. It was like, I don't want this tree. It's like, I don't know what made him so mad. Editing me here. Something I forgot to mention is also, because of the Atlas situation, I hadn't left my room in days. I hadn't talked to my parents in days. I had been downstairs maybe once or twice to use the bathroom and grab food. But other than that, I hadn't, like, communicated with my parents, and that also might have upset my dad a bit. Because, like, your son isn't talking to you for a week straight. It's probably gonna not really put you in the best mood. So, that also might have upset him, too. But, yeah, I thought I'd mention that. He's just sitting there, just yelling and yelling and yelling, does not stop yelling at me. And I'm just sitting there listening to all this, and I start shaking out of nowhere. Just like uncontrollably shaking, like. And then I just start rocking back and forth, and I never do that unless I'm like really, really, really like triggered or something, like I'm really overstimulated. This comes out of nowhere. I'm sitting there completely just like contempt or content or however you say it. Then I just start shaking out of nowhere. Really bad shaking. And I was surprised whenever I started doing it. And I just start saying, I'm sorry. And I just start screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Just like, I know it looks stupid when I try to redo it, but like my eyes were big, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like having a mental breakdown. I started having a mental breakdown. I guess it was the combination of just what happened with Atlas, how miserable I was over that, and then my dad yelling at me. And my dad never yells at me, so whenever he does yell at me, it's like, oh shit, I'm scared. I'm afraid of him. Combination of those two things really, really, really set me off. I start crying in the floor and just screaming, I want to die. I went from I'm sorry to I want to die, just screaming, I want to die, over and over and over, like I'm Skylar White in Breaking Bad when she says shut up to Marie over and over. I started doing that, and I get in the floor bawling my eyes out. My mom and dad are sitting there watching me. I'm just screaming, I want to die, over and over and over. I can't control myself. I'm sitting here just screaming it, cannot stop, trying to like cover my mouth to force myself to stop. I cannot stop. I was not in control of myself at this moment. I'm in the floor just crying, and then eventually I kind of, I stopped saying it. I was able to regain control of myself. And I knew I was fucked in that moment, because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to a mental hospital. I'm going to go to a mental hospital or something. I'm going to the psych ward. They're putting me in the loony bin. I'm getting the straitjacket. The way I'm acting, I'm thinking the neighbors are going to call the cops over how loudly I was yelling this stuff. I get up and I'm like, I don't even know what I say. I kind of blanked out at this moment, but I just remember sitting on my bed like this, like I'm L from Death Note, just like this, just like huddled up, trying to protect myself. I was in like that defense position. And I'm looking at my parents. I'm like, please, guys, just forget this happened. Forget this happened. I'm sorry. Just please forget this happened. None of this happened, please. And then my dad's just sitting there like this, like he's sitting there contemplating his life, realizing what a failure his son is. My mom's starting to tear up, looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm going to the fucking loony bin. And eventually, I don't really have the greatest memory of what happened after that, but I know they hugged me. And my mom said, we're going to get this fixed. And then they said something about medication. I'm like, I don't want to take medication because I have a fear of medication, I'm afraid. If I get medicated, because my grandfather, he got medicated because of like his issues, and it made him go insane. So I have a fear of being medicated and like taking drugs to like mitigate your mental health. So I have a fear of medication, and I'm like, no, what happens if I turn into Papaw? And because I call my grandfather Papaw. Like, what if I turn out like Papaw and I lose my mind? I can't take medication. And they're like, we're going to get you fixed. Things are going to change. Things are going to be okay. Because, your son screams out, I want to die over and over and over. It's like, my clock just went off. Hold on. It does it every time I try to film a video. It always strikes midnight or whatever. Anyway, so I'm thinking like, shit, I'm getting put in the loony bin. I'm going to end up like my grandfather. I'm going to lose my mind even more. Nothing ever happens after that. They never mentioned it. My mom mentioned it one time in passing, and she came up in my room and was like, hey, what happened recently? Do you think we need to like go to the doctor? And I just like, no. I mean, I got like bright red, and I got like my eyes wide, like, no. I cannot go to the doctor. If I go to the doctor, I'm going to get put in psych ward, and I'm going to end up like my grandfather. I'm going to get restrained and put in a mental hospital if I go to the doctor. That's what medication does to you. At least it happened to my grandfather, and I can't have that happen to me. And then that's, nothing ever happens after that. My dad doesn't mention it. My dad has never mentioned this at all, ever again. Because I think after that moment, he realized just how much of a failure his son is, and how little of a chance I have in life. So I think he's just ashamed of, what his son turned into. So I think that's why he's kind of reluctant to talk about it. He's just embarrassed of the whole situation. That happened last year, and luckily I've improved a lot. I have friends, I have a girlfriend. I got everything I wanted. Like, I'm a lot better now. I'm still mentally fucked up. I'm still completely insane, but, I'm a lot better now. I'm stable enough where I can function, I guess, sort of, kind of. I'm not really sure, but like, I'm not as bad as I used to be, and that's all I can ask for. And actually, the tree is still in my closet. Hold on. Shit. The tree is actually still in my closet right there. That's the tree. We never took it downstairs. It's been there ever since. So I haven't touched that thing since. But that is the story of my mental breakdown that happened. And luckily enough, I never got put in the hospital. So, for better or for worse, I never got put in the hospital because of that. But anyway, yeah, that's the story.